What's going on, guys? This is Ryan with RK Outpost, and the CW fans right now are getting so rabid with cancel culture that I'm not sure any of the DC shows that are over on CW, known as the Arrowverse, are even going to be standing when this is all said and done. And we're not just talking about side characters like Hartley Sawyer, who we talked about the other day, who has been fired from Flash. We are talking about characters who have been there since the very beginning, including even the main man himself, Stephen Amell, the one who started it all. They're being canceled for things that are absolutely insane, and we will get into all of that. But one of the problems is the way that CW has tried to grow its brand and who it's marketed to, especially over the past couple years. They really doubled and tripled down when it comes to identity politics, including in 2018. CW launches Open to All campaign highlighting commitment to inclusiveness. And now there's nothing wrong with having a diverse cast. You know, some of the greatest things I watch on TV and movies have a diverse cast, and that's fantastic. But when that is all that it's about, when that is the focus of what you're doing, not about making good shows, not about great storylines, but about diversity, about inclusion, about virtue signaling, then what happens? Well, we've seen what happens with Arrows. The ratings tanked in 2018. Same with The Flash. The ratings began to tank for The Flash. And that is what's happening with CW. They are driving some of their customers away, and all they're left with are the people that this is all that matters to them. All that matters is hashtag open to all, commitment to inclusiveness. And we're going to go over exactly what's happening to Stephen Amell. But first, let's get into Danielle Panabaker. Now, Danielle Panabaker plays a character who has been there since the very beginning. She plays Caitlin Snow in The Flash. The Flash fans accuse actress Danielle Panabaker of racism, call for her firing. Danielle Panabaker, along with other female stars of the CWverse family of live action, have been accused by fans of the Arrowverse of racism due to their acknowledgement of fan ships that paired Barry Allen with anyone other than Iris West. Now, Candice Patton is a black woman. She plays Iris West in Flash. And yes, those characters, obviously, if you know anything about The Flash, you know that The Flash ends up with Iris West. And they are married in the show. And this is a picture of Candice Patton right here. Now, this is an absolutely insane Twitter thread, which I have gone all the way through. I may have lost several brain cells while doing, but I did go through it to see maybe if I could find some real evidence of Danielle Panabaker being a racist. But no. According to Soft Iris, the untold truth of Danielle Panabaker and others undermining Candice Patton, a black woman, is based on Panabaker's friendly interactions with fans discussing the romantic pairing, so shipping. We're talking about shipping, guys. The romantic pairing of Caitlin Snow with Barry Allen, as well as moments where Panabaker did not explicitly guide the conversation to discuss Patton or her character. They're saying that because Danielle Panabaker has talked about this ship in The Flash between her character and Grant Gustin, which, let's not get started on Grant Gustin, but I guess we're going to have to later. But we'll hold off on that. But between Grant Gustin and her character, instead of promoting, no, this is the only official ship, you can only talk about Iris and Barry. The ship name for Caitlin Snow and Barry Allen is now officially Snowbaker. Tell all your friends. Yes, please do. They play these things. Her baiting Snowberry, talking about the relationship after she is asked about it or asked about the relationship. Listen to this. This is part of the proof. Not only did she bait the ship, she always romanticized sexual assault. These people are crazy. Just listen.
Though I gotta say, as much as there is the Barry and Iris relationship, the chemistry you had with Barry in that one episode, kind of opened up my eyes to the possibilities. Is that something you'd like to explore, that you hope it might happen?
And there was an episode specifically, this is where this all started. There was an episode, I believe they were, I watched the Arrowverse for a long time. I believe they were doing karaoke. Caitlin got very drunk. Barry took her home and got her changed, things like that. They were very handsy, right? She was very vulnerable. But of course, perfect. Grant Gustin did not do anything. He didn't take advantage of the situation, just simply took her home and put her to bed.
I think it would be really fun. You know, I'm very lucky that Grant and I do have such good chemistry together. I love working with him, and it's been a lot of fun. You know, there's layers of that we've sort of sprinkled throughout the show, and I think the Snowberry fans will be very excited by episode 19.
Snowberry, I've not heard about this.
Oh yes, the Snowberry.
Oh, you haven't?
And that's Candace Patton. Candace Patton, the one that she's so racist towards, is literally right on the other side here talking. She said, oh, you haven't heard about that?
This is the shipping groups online?
Yeah.
I'm Snowstorm, personally.
You're
Snowstorm is
I do love my Snowstorm too.
I'm a Snowstorm.
Oh my god.
Right? And then talking about other ships. Snowstorm, which is Caitlin, and Firestorm, Snowstorm, right? So, like, she's right there. That's very racist to acknowledge a ship, and then listen to this. You can't believe this.
That friendship will grow. They have they can relate to having lost someone, and that grief that you sort of carry around with you, and I think there's a kindred spirit in there.
The kindred spirit, would that lead to relationship, perhaps?
I think it definitely could.
Okay.
Hopefully we've got a long series to figure all that out. Everybody loves a good love triangle. That
Everybody loves a good life. Everyone loves a good love triangle, right? There is nothing in this that is racist. Her just talking about a ship that fans have had, and that even the producers kind of, put into it. Everybody knows about this. It's not a big deal. This is not racist. Her talking about a ship is not racist. These people are insane. Then they say she doesn't give Candace Patton enough credit in different marketing things. So it proves that she is a racist and must be fired. These people are crazy. But let's get to the real craziness. Arrow star Stephen Amell accused of racism by fans, including Image Comics author T. Franklin. And this is her. She's since protected her Twitter account. What a shock that she's a coward after calling Stephen Amell a racist. Now, a little bit about Stephen Amell. I've been following Stephen Amell a long time. I loved Arrow when it first came out. I loved the first couple seasons of it. It really got me into following Stephen Amell on all social media platforms. And I've watched a lot of what he's done over the years. And he has very diametrically opposed political opinions to myself. But that's not a big deal, right? I still follow people that have different political opinions than me. If I think they're an interesting person. He's done so much for so many charities and things like that. I think Stephen Amell is just a really good dude. But they are trying to cancel him because of his racist thoughts. Let's listen here. Let's see what these people think are racist. Now, this happened, I think, back on June 1st. But he was doing a podcast, and Grant Gustin, who came and spoke out about Hartley Sawyer being fired, how he's heartbroken and disgusted by the racist things Hartley Sawyer said, by the misogynistic tweets, the 9-year-old tweets that were clearly jokes. They were so nothing burgers. It's ridiculous that people are upset about it. But anyway, that Grant Gustin, the perfect Grant Gustin, he was supposed to be on the show. He didn't want to come on the show. He didn't think it was the right time to be doing a podcast in the middle of all the George Floyd protests that were going on. And listen to what Stephen Amell says.
Full disclosure, Grant Gustin was supposed to be the guest this morning. He very politely and calmly texted me yesterday and said that with everything going on in Los Angeles, that maybe this wasn't the appropriate time to spend 45 minutes talking about how he became such a giant, lovable television star and just star in general. So we're going to save Grant.
Right, so that's all he said. He said, well, Grant Gustin was supposed to be on the show, but Grant decided that with everything going on, and then he goes to further talk about the George Floyd protests, that maybe it wasn't the perfect time. Grant didn't want to sit here and gush about himself and how he became a star. That's it, right? Now, we have these people that are calling him racist because of that. People retweeting that clip, that 20-second clip that I showed you and said, wow, I never knew Stephen Amell was so racist. Are you kidding me? It goes on because he talks about a little bit about what's going on all over the world right now. He says, racism is a systemic problem, but I'm not as familiar with it as I should be just because I haven't seen an action personally. Obviously, I see the video of George Floyd, I remember Trayvon Martin, and all the things that have been happening. Although most of that for me personally has been overshadowed by gun violence. That's the big thing that's difficult for me to wrap my head around, moving to the States, simply because that doesn't happen in Canada. Which, of course, we can point to a couple cases that it does happen in Canada. But this is what people are upset about. Because Stephen Amell like in his mind, he thinks about gun violence more than he thinks about racism. Oh my gosh, an opinion that Stephen Amell had. We should call him racist. We should get him fired from his show. We should cancel him. He then detailed is a belief about a percentage of people in law enforcement, a very false percentage, are effing ruining it for the people who should be celebrated, and they should be lauded, and they should get paid more than they're getting paid. He's getting canceled because he supports good police officers. He's saying, listen, Stephen Amell is saying what 99% of the people in the world know to be true, that there are some bad cops out there, that the majority of cops are good people. That is what he's saying, and you can say that with every profession in the world. You can say that, well, except maybe celebrities, I don't know. But with every profession in the world, it's a little bit of a view on the world as a whole. You're going to have bad people that work at Wendy's, but the majority of them are going to be good people. You're going to have bad people that are doctors, but the vast majority of them are going to be good people. The idea that saying something like that should be cancelable is insane. And so it's just tweet after tweet of people trying to take these clips that are nothing, that are literally nothing, and saying that he should be fired for some of this. Look at this person. Stephen Amell ain't been shit for years. He's a racist, misogynistic douche, and the CW protected him. Let his moment of reckoning finally come. This is the clip that I just played for you. That's that clip. How do people get that from this? But this person decides to stop by. Again, T. Franklin, an Image Comics writer who asserted that he's been showing us his racist ass ways for quite a while now, and his wife. Look at this. And then she even calls out Grant Gustin because he doesn't support or speak out for Candace enough. So you don't do enough. Again, with all of these crazy cancel culture people, you might have all the opinions that I share, but if one of them is different, if one of them steps over what I consider to be the line, you're done. You're canceled. And then here, Stephen Amell responds to her. You totally nailed me. Hope that makes you feel better. I just followed you. So if you need something or you want me to help to better understand, hit me up and we can chat. Again, I think Stephen Amell is his entire history shows to me that he's a good dude. And those clips are absolutely nothing. But she goes on a Twitter tirade. She has since accused him of blatant racism while downplaying her own role in the ongoing controversy. She downplayed her aggressive accusations as simply responding and acted surprised when Amell chose to no longer engage. After calling out Stephen Amell, he wanted me to educate him via DM. And talks about how disgusting it is that a white man would want to be educated by a black woman on racism. These people are absolutely insane. Then, when people were writing articles about this, she put her Cash App, that's what she tweeted out, her Cash App, and said, if you're going to use my tweets and talk about me, make sure you pay me. What an insane, disgusting individual T. Franklin is. And CW, when you appeal, when this is what you decide to make your platform about, and like I said, I watched the Arrowverse for a long time, and then ironically, around in 2018, when it just became overboard with the woke agenda, the identity politics, I just had to dip out. I enjoyed it for a long time, but it became too much for me to handle. Many others like me felt the same way. You see that with the declining ratings across all of their shows. You made this fan base, CW. You cultivated this fan base. You asked for this fan base. And now they're responding in the way that the crazy mob responds. So we'll see what they do. Obviously, Stephen Amell, that was his last season as Arrow. He's not there anymore. They just want him canceled. Are they going to fire Danielle Panabaker? Who will be next? Who will be next to have one tweet or one opinion that differs from the mob? And they are canceled next. Let me know what you think about all of this garbage going on. Make sure you smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for notifications, share this video out there, and I will talk to you later. Thanks for watching, everyone, and a huge shout out to my patrons. I appreciate you guys so much. Want to follow me on Twitter or Instagram? Check out the description below. You'll find links to my P.O. box and my Patreon as well. And I'll talk to you guys later.